Hello everybody and welcome back once again to Let's Play Tyranny. In the last session we found ourselves here in the Trip Nettle Wilderness where we took down one of the sort of problematic leaders of the rebellion. Against the wishes of the Scarlet Chorus, they wanted to take him in alive. But, well, things got a little out of hand, shall we say. Not our fault, of course. But anyway, we start today's session, ready to head on out. Not quite just yet, because we are against the clock, but we've been going for some time with little respite, and old Lantry's picked up a couple of wounds recently, so we're actually going to take a breather. Calvina's going to allow the party to recuperate so that we can press on with a renewed vigour. It's a calculated risk, but we're making good progress, she thinks. So we're going to take a rest, our very first rest. And of course, whilst sat round the campfire, we'll take the opportunity to get to know some of our companions, and she's most interested in speaking with a fellow sage. He's been with us the least amount of time, but she has the most interest in speaking with him at the moment. So, whilst resting up, Calvina having a wee chin wag with Lantry. Okay. Now, he was working with the Oathbreakers, so a bit of information from his time with them could prove to be useful, so asking about his work with them. The Vendrian Guard has several noble born in their ranks, and they know their letters. Problem is, they've come from noble houses scattered across the realms, each with their own private script. That's where the sages and I come in. Between us, we're familiar enough with all the regional scripts to translate and coordinate. But translating is child's play, so I might have helped out a bit more. The old citadel at the centre of the valley is a crumbling affair, and there's no time for proper construction. It seemed a crime not to put my magic to work. All right. Yeah, asking about what he learned of their plans. It won't surprise you to know their strategy is largely non-existent. They cling to the hope that their example will inspire others in the tiers to come to the valley and join the cause. The recent inaction between the Archons has emboldened them. Some even think the Archons fear the Vendrian Guard. I'm sure they have it quite wrong. Yeah, anything else? The Vendrian Guard surrendered back in 429, and while a lot of them were conscripted into the chorus, 3 of the leaders, Captain Ari, Matani, and Florian, never turned themselves in. Instead, they hid in the valley, gathering up what resources they could until they could challenge the local garrison. At highest count, earlier in the year, they numbered over 400. Their ranks swollen by soldiers of Haven and Azure that survived the war. They are a dying breed, these Oathbreakers. Most of the tiers have finally come to realise that Kairos has already won. And before you ask, as connoisseur of the inevitable, I have made my peace with the Overlord and bow to his might. Indeed. So, confirming what military aid he provided. Well, the servant of the Archon of Justice asked me that question. I can't help but assume it's the antecedent to some sort of punishment. I can't deny that I assisted the Oathbreakers, but the alternative was to starve in a cell and maybe lose my head. I realise this is an offence to the Overlord, but it's not like I increased their odds of winning in any significant way. Okay, we're not going to be overly harsh on him for the moment. So instead, asking if he's an expertise with fortifications. Maybe he might help us when we come to storm the old, what's it called, the spire? Hardly, but I'm an expert on preservation magics. The same cantrips we use at the School of Ink and Quill to preserve our manuscripts against worms and decay are, in principle, as applicable to stone as they are to parchment. Plus or minus some improvisation. Okay, so we've got to make a comment regarding his involvement with the Oathbreakers. Okay, we'll take the middle of the road and just glare silently. Okay, asking how he came into the possession of the Scarlet Chorus. I had to send some missives, and that meant getting to a clearing where my terns and doves might find me. The patrol with me was ambushed by the Scarlet Chorus. I tried to flee the scene, but some youngster tackled me and, well, out of one fire into another. That's been a running theme this year. Okay. So, more about his magic, and about the sages, again, are of interest. These other two, less so. So we'll start with his magics. Oh, I don't much like to brag about things like that. Yes, not asking you to brag, simply asking you to tell me what you can do. My major areas of focus have been preservation, concealment, and healing. Arts that have served me well in this newfound life as a peripatetic prey animal. The sages study all kinds of magic, but as a chronicler, I wanted magic that would help me see more, archive more, protect objects of historical value. Seeing as I feel like an old relic in need of some protection, my skills suit me well. I wonder if your companions can actually teach you things, but Calvina certainly to companions that have just joined the party, specifically ones that have sworn fealty to us, she wouldn't even dream of lowering herself to asking them to teach her anything, especially magical, considering her previous background, so we shall leave that for now. Asking about the sages. For hundreds of years, the sages have been devoted to the collection and preservation of knowledge. We are scholars, bookmakers, archivists, and students of the mystic and the mundane alike. The wisest of our guild, not that I truly belong in that category, are versed in sigils and spellcraft. Or at least that's how it used to be. With the destruction of the Vellum Citadel, the sages have been scattered to the winds. There were once more sages than I could name. Many have died or have been taken prisoner by Kairos' forces. Okay. Well, we burnt the Citadel to the ground, didn't we? So, but yeah. Asking what he knows of the Citadel, as it once was. I once felt a rush of pride at that name. Now it's a blight on our reputation. The Vellum Citadel was a beautiful sanctuary of parchment and ink. We had amassed knowledge from the Northern Empire to the coast of the Tears. It would take a score of lifetimes to learn all the Citadel could teach you. But the sages in charge of the Vellum Citadel thought themselves above Kairos' rules. The Overlord learned the sages were copying and spreading lies and forbidden knowledge. Kairos put an end to life at the Citadel with his Edict of Fire. All that knowledge set aflame. When we bind books, we bind them to last. Our most important tomes were warded against fire and other maladies. So many of the books remain intact as the shelf and floor melt away. I suppose it's still there, if you want to brave danger and certain death for it. There is good reason they call it the Burning Library now. That's quite interesting. So there could well be still things there in the flaming ruin, although it's probably not on fire now, but still a charred mess, perhaps. Asking who leads the school, or maybe who led the school. I keep learning more names of those who died during the Edict of Fire, so my information could be obsolete. But with Sage Krevnik incinerated, Sage Renata would be the current provost. And if she dies, well, fuck. thanks to all the recent deaths, maybe I'll be next in line. Let's archive that away under things to worry about later. In truth, there isn't much guild left to lead. Our library fortress is in ashes, our membership in disarray, and it doesn't help that we have something of a spotty reputation here in the tiers, fear of magic being something of a local specialty. Yeah. Seems like quite a higher-upper. Third in line? Second in line, perhaps? Asking what his precise role is in the guild. I'm one of the chief writers of the Chronicle. It's our attempt to record the truth of all things in their proper sequence. It's the ongoing life work of generations of sages, and I have the honour of witnessing history and having my vantage point be a matter of record. This is almost questioning his loyalty, which we won't do just yet. Okay. We've heard enough. Ooh. Now, I don't know if you're going to hear this, because I'm probably going to edit the sound and stuff, so it might not. But I mentioned in the live stream, the anniversary stream not so long ago, that the Hoover hasn't made a return for quite some time, but it is here today in the background. For old time's sake, perhaps. Okay, so sitting around the campfire, resting, allowing Lantry to nurse and tend to his wounds with his healing magics. We've spoken with him, got to know him a little bit better in terms of what he can bring to the table, and a little bit about his time in the School of Ink and Quill, and, well, that's enough chit-chat for now. We have things to do. So pressing on with our next task, which is to head here to the Northern Clearing, which will take about 3.5 hours, which is not too bad. Looking for the disfavoured Earthshakers. That's just before we head there. Take a quick look at our mission here. So yeah, just searching for the reinforcements, or perhaps sign of their demise. Oh dear, signs of demise indeed. We see signs of something. The Northern Clearing. Look around for signs of the Earthshakers. There is something here. Literally straight out. Upon our arrival. That's a boar. And we can actually sneak. Who's got the highest subterfuge skill? 35. 47. Actually, it's our esteemed leader who has the highest sneak skill. So she can actually do a bit of scouting. Although she scouts very, very slowly. Okay, so we do have an enemy here. Okay.
Can't do that.
We've got some signs of the enemy, which is... Oh, holy cow. We've got an outrunner, a sun soldier, an archer, honor guards times however many. This is not a very big map. This is literally it. Got that, and then these guys. So this shouldn't be too bad. I'm thinking if we can kind of get them into this area here, we'll kind of negate their advantage of numbers and kind of get them lined up, ready to take down with a bit of, that's what I'm looking for. Choke point, bit of choke point management. Although Calvina's not going to goad them. She's going to
no reason to tarry.
Beckon forth her companions. She's going to give them the old heads up about what she's seen, and asking Barrick to drag them round here where we can in turn turn the tables on them.
Let's be off. Let's be off.
See what happens here. Come out, you cowards! There, he's looking and talking. Maybe there's something behind here, you know. He's gesturing over this way. Talking about starving them out. Okay, here we go. There they come. Just pull him back a bit. Just pull him back a bit. She should not be on... she should be on Archer. Right, there we go. Let's go. Oh, nice! He's got the prone attack on. That's very good indeed. Now we'll go for the old lightning bolt. Nice. Now a bit of fire. Let's warm things up a touch. And then cool things down.
More harm than this useless weapon.
Keep going. Come on, guys. There we go. Doing a good job. There we go. Excellent work. This is going very smoothly. Hey, I like this music.
Can't do that.
Should have him at this point. Yeah, I completely forgot after the last session to create a mage fire. Not a mage fire? Was it mage fire? Spell. The combination of fire and frost. Frost fire. You there! You are not with the Oathbreakers? Aha! We are not, but we shall get to you in a moment.
Affirmative.
So what have we got here? We got an Earthshaker hood and an Earthshaker staff. Okay.
Let's have it then. Graven ash protects.
Ooh,
Interesting.
secret goodies.
Let's be off.
Right then. Hellspar.
Yes.
Ah, Fatebinder, how fortuitous. The Earthshaker pounds his chest in salute. For us, I mean. Decidedly not for the Earthbreakers. Whether intended or not, we are indebted for your help. Okay, asking where the rest of the crew is. Is there anyone else? Ah, the Earthbreakers felled Grisander before we could erect the barricade, but our circle alone was all Master Radix could feasibly spare. We're here, and though wayworn, we're ready to help. Okay. Yeah. Commander? Not here? With all due respect, Fatebinder, it's not a matter I'd expect you to understand. We absolutely cannot abandon Cairn to the Stone Sea. As we've only recently located him, and are in the process of constructing a fort to guard his remains, we could not spare another mage. Especially now when the beast tribe that flocked to Cairn in his final days is becoming increasingly territorial and contentious. The way I see it then, it seems to me that Radix has refused Ash's orders. I'm not of a rank to make such sweeping evaluations. But I'd say he interpreted them in his own manner to the best of his judgment, rather than outright refusing them. He is an Iron Guard, after all. His decisions, though difficult to make as they may be, will certainly embolden our routing of the tiers. Yes, this to me sounds like grounds for treason. I fully understand why you might suspect our intentions, but I can assure you, Master Radix and the entire guild remain steadfast to General Ash and our most blessed overlord. If only you could see it with your own eyes, our research efforts with Cairn could very well hand victory to the disfavoured in this war. What's so important about Cairn? Cairn may be dying, but he's not yet lost. There lies the potential to harness an Archon's power in the Stone Sea, and for that I should think the possibilities are near limitless. But we won't know unless we can run the proper research. Okay. Well, we've already said these two, so I don't know why we're saying any of them again, but hey-ho. All right. Oh, so they're unaware of the edict, I see. So we are now bringing them up to speed with things. The Overlord has issued an Edict of Execution. If we don't take the well by Kairos' Day of Swords, everyone here will all die. Including Ash. Well, clearly Master Radix was unaware of the severity of the situation. Had we known, assuredly the guild would have come in full force. Perhaps he would not have come at all. Regardless, we are where we are. It looks like you're all we've got. Report to Servius at the disfavoured camp. He'll have further orders for you there. With a shaky nod and an even shakier salute, the Earthshaker gathers his circle and cloistered together, murmuring or perhaps chanting in hushed voices, the battle mages march toward the valley. Return to Servius. So this is not the full force of the guild, but I shall have to do. Some interesting comments regarding Cairn and whatnot, but we have an update, apparently, to the situation with the missives. So let's take a look. The Will of Kairos. Calvina. Perhaps your continued and faithful service shall remind the Archons of their duties to the Overlord. One can hope. May fortune favour your endeavour. Indeed. Indeed. Right, let's take a quick look then, whilst we're here, of the current state of play with the reputations. So, Scarlet Chorus, not looking too rosy at the moment. Disfavoured, looking fairly positive, as you can quite clearly see. Yeah, good favour. Very little wrath. Vendrian Guard, no favour at all, unsurprisingly, and a little bit of wrath there as well. Companions. Ebb, we've stumbled into Ebb, though she's not a companion yet. Will she ever be? I suppose it depends on the decisions we make when we meet her. Yeah, lots of fear with verse. Interesting. And the Archons themselves, as you can see, certainly a nice chunk of favour with Graven Ash. Okay, so we need to go back to Sevius, I think is probably best, at the disfavoured camp. But these two need us to go to Echo Call Crossing. So that's where we're going to be going next. But before we go there, we need to go back to the Scarlet Chorus camp, and then to the disfavoured camp. So without further ado,
no reason to tarry.
Let's go. Time's a ticking, my friends. Can we... Don't know if we can. I'm sure we can, you know. We can, like, you know, like in Pillars of Eternity, you can speed up time so that when you're walking, you go a bit quicker. Perhaps. Maybe I should look at that. Okay, Scarlet Chorus Camp. 10 hours, 45 minutes. It's a long journey. Now, the reason why I've come back here is because... Was it Reg and Baz? I thought they were trainers. They are trainers, although I couldn't see the option to train last time, so I'm just going to double check whilst we're here. I don't know whether it's based on your reputation with the Scarlet Chorus, so if we don't have a high enough reputation they won't train us. That could possibly be the issue, but we just want to double check.
Ash protects.
So let's go and have another wee gander. See what we can find. Ah, so we didn't notice these guys before, and maybe they weren't here, but these are the Beast Men. Okay, so let's have a wee talk with these while we're here. Don't know if things have advanced a little bit. Oh, and Siren is also here. Things have definitely moved on since we were last here. Perhaps it's a good thing that we came. Right, first things first, we'll sell some wares. Okay, let's just sell some of the obvious stuff that we have to sell, which is mostly these things. Yeah, just sell the old trash. Anything else we might want to sell? Just off the top of our head, probably some of this stuff, but we're fine for now. Until we need to buy something and boost our coffers, we'll leave them in the stash for now. Okay, that just tops us up nicely. Okay. This is an Archon in our presence, it seems. But we won't speak with her first. I just want to check in with Fifth Eye first. Oh, look, there's Variah. Being put to good work after our little encounter last time. Okay, nothing new with him. Yes. Okay, let's go speak with Siren, shall we? A young woman stands flanked by a pair of soldiers. The ornate headdress cresting her brow lends her otherwise small figure an intimidating aspect. From gear to gown, everything about her starkly contrasts the wretched state of the camp. She looks both at ease and uncomfortable. Composed in her element and completely unsure, she turns to you.
Greetings, worm.
Her voice takes you off guard. It is bare of any inflection and yet full of beautiful music. If you didn't know better, you would guess that she is actively suppressing or modulating her vocal tone. Okay, so Calvina, thinking that she looks vaguely familiar.
You don't know me, little worm? I am Siren, and my degenerate allies have the pleasure of calling me the Archon of Song. And you are Tunon's Fatefinder. What brings you here to the middle of the battlefield? Did Cairo send you to shame Ash and Nerat into action?
Ash certainly needs someone to dig a heel into his back, if only to distract him from his problem.
But Nerat, he's just a cat playing with a realm-sized mouse, isn't he?
What are you suggesting? Yeah, intrigued as to what she meant. What? Oh, never mind. There isn't anything interesting happening in camp, and the solitude is making me paranoid. Narad is the Archon of Secrets. I'm sure he has one or two he isn't sharing with everyone.
I can't be expected to keep track of all his comings and goings, his plans and secret meetings, his betrayals. Anyway, we have a more important matter to deal with. There is something you can do to assist me.
From the corner of your eye, you see Verse cup her hands to her ears, turning her head away from Siren. Uh-oh. Siren's mouth opens in a perfect O shape, and the sound that pours out is captivating, entrancing. It dampens the ambient bustle of the camp until it seems that nothing exists but her voice.
Remove my helmet.
Oh dear. Calvino, what? Trying to do?
Really? That's it? How disappointing. It was worth a try, I suppose, though it appears to have been a colossal waste of effort.
Seems we may have passed the test. Maybe.
I hoped you would assist me in a delicate matter, but it appears you're more nuisance than help. I have no further use for you. Perhaps later. You're dismissed, Fatebinder.
Brushes us away with a wave. Quite tempted, but fine.
For the love of Kairos! That was the Archon of Song in the flesh!
Yes, if you don't mind, you shut your mouth and focus on the task.
Dumbstruck. I don't exactly meet Archons on a regular basis. Maybe to you this is just Judge's Day.
Especially not one so bloody rude.
I got it.
Okay, so here we've got Claws at Throat and Night Yowl. A young beastman stands in the shadow of an enormous beast woman, whose stature still manages to loom over you, even in her crouched position. The beastman's mouth froths with spittle that launches in every direction as he snarls at her. Okay. Night Yowl was promised worthy, tough prey for joining, but Beast Woman only allows Night Yowl to hunt weakest of humans. Says best kill for self. Boof! Pounding the ground. Night Yowl was second strongest of Stone Stalker males before joining Scarlet humans. Rooted even with 100 Blood, with Tribe's Prima. Was promised own pack for abandoning tribe mates. The crouched beast woman lets out a deafening cackle. Strong Stone Stalker? Beastman worth rutting? No! Claws at Throat sees only Mewling first season come before Beastwoman now. Sees only Tenderfoot, only weak whelp fit to chase injured, dying prey, not the best fighter on battlefield. Oh dear, they're having a bit of an argument here. Human? Oh dear, she's really put him in his place, hasn't she? Good grief. Humans, always encroaching on Beast Woman, have no sense of danger, no recognition for prowling hungry predators, are worse than snivelling beastmen. Oh, she's still grinding his face into the dirt. Was she speaking to us? Speak quickly and maybe Beast Woman will listen. What tribe are you from, Beast? She is intrigued why they are here, though, so asking how they came to join the Scarlet Chorus. Human pack called Scarlet Chorus is vicious, cunning, feral, like tribes, like beast women. Chorus humans are dirty and reek like rotten meat, so easily shriek and tear at own throats, but also respect strongest of pack, and beast women are strongest of all creatures. our best predators, like Archon called Narat, Pax fierce and ruthless Alpha. Is mystic who can swallow prey, blood and bones whole, makes Beast Woman want to rut, fight, kill. Makes Beast Woman want to rut, fight, kill. Makes Beast Woman want... Okay. Well, we shall leave them to it then. Not really wishing to converse with such feral creatures. Right, yes. So the main reason we came back here, not expecting to see new faces, was to speak with these two. Again. Definitely no training option. Aha, I've got to ask them about themselves first to unlock it. That's fine. Okay, in that case... This is bows, dual-wielding and unarmed. Oops-a-daisy. And this chap, magic staff and subterfuge. Well, and law. Of course, law is what we're really interested in. So training once in law. Now we get another few ranks to train. So, again, as I said, we can train our companions in similar thing, well, in the same things, should we wish to do so. But we don't at the moment. Again, just focusing on ourselves. Subterfuge is also handy. Do we just punt it all into law? She's going to get a lot of law through her actions, I'm thinking. So therefore subterfuge would probably be better. Six more ranks. 3 and 3? Yeah, that'll do.
You learn something every day.
Okay, so Calvina has leveled up. We shall do that a little bit later. Meanwhile, we've got a chest that we can now open, given that we've increased our subterfuge recently. Which is handy.
Got it.
Pillar of Courage, which is a staff. Which is better than the staff that we have. More DPS and less recovery. Looks like we may be swapping weapons. Immune to frightened. Okay, that's good. That's good indeed. So what we'll do now is we shall leave this camp, go to the disfavoured camp, and I'm assuming that seeing as this camp has changed a touch, I'm reckoning the disfavoured one may also have a few little differences. Since we were last there, let's check it out. With all due respect, our cohorts have proven themselves against these Apex fools time and time again. What can your Earthshakers do other than get in the way? I don't want to be here, Sevius, and my orders don't involve proving our value to you. If the Great General doesn't want magic on his side, then he can order us to stand down and sit this one out. I don't question what your mages bring to the table, Hellspar, but I have my reservations about your leaders. Why couldn't Radix show up to the siege himself? If he has more pressing issues than the state of the conquest, I should like to hear about it from his mouth. Shall we leave her to make the decision, or should we suggest something? No, we shall let them decide. If we conclude that Radix is ignoring his duties, then he'll need to be replaced. I don't take any pleasure from the idea, but we may have to take the steps if he proves intractable. Ooh. I hate to upset the chain of command during a time of war. Perhaps Radix's brother can convince him to remember his duty? Fatebinder, I thank you for the part you played. You didn't have to risk yourself, but you did so all the same. An emerald pin. Okay, so this is a 1% health regeneration every 6 seconds. This is actually going to be pretty useful for Chappie here, I think. Level up, that's fine. Let's just speak with everybody individually now that that's over and done with. Can we speak with you, buddy? No? Welcome back, Fatebinder. Okay, same as before.
Graven Ash protects.
The edict draws near. Preparations are almost complete, but we aren't moving fast enough. Hey! I said round up those javelins! Not a suggestion! Okay, nothing new there. Shall we actually speak with Graven Ash, perhaps? See if there's anything new on that front. I doubt it, but you never know. Okay, so we've heard about Cairn now from the Earthshakers, telling us about the fact that he's dying, or dying, trying to something with the Stone Sea. She doesn't quite understand it all, so just getting a bit more information about Cairn from Graven Ash. I should have known sooner his heart strayed from Kairos. I needed to split our forces, send him to Azure while I tackled Stalwart. But that was a mistake. Without me looming near, he must have felt free to live out his traitorous dreams. Yes, and why do you think he turned against Kairos? Cairn only served us because death was the alternative. He did not admire the unity and progress that Kairos brings. While I suspect Chorus agents may have whispered treachery in his ears, I think it wholly possible Cairn fell into disloyalty by his own volition. Yes, and what exactly has become of his disciples, the Earthshakers? Cairn's chief disciple Radix now speaks for the guild. It is true that my warriors are a bit apprehensive about our magical allies. Many suspect Cairn's treachery was taught to them. But I have vetted the guild, pruned whom I don't trust, kept those I can. Okay. Right. So just a little bit more info there about Cairn. I'm sure that that has something that will play out in due course, should we survive, of course. The old edict, 6 days to go. But our next port of call, well, it's Echo Call Crossing. That is effectively the start of us taking the initiative, taking the front foot, and making some tangible progress. So we shall get to that in the next session. So before then, we'll have a quick level up of Calvina, and once we've done that, we shall start the next session, heading straight on out to Echo Call Crossing, where we shall look to break the opposition blockade. But whilst we're there, keeping an eye out for some forge-bound iron as well. So yeah, that could be another session that's going to be packed with some combat. So that'll be fun. Anyway, that's all for this one. Join me next time as we continue on to try and get things done before this day comes to pass. Until then, see you soon.